folks, Pastor Jay here from Know the Truth. Welcome to our show, or as I'm now calling it, my thoughts that I record into this little device thingy, where through magic and technology, Baxter can do this thing called upload that will allow you listeners to hear my beautiful voice. My goal here is to continue to spread the truth while simultaneously letting all of you know where we are in case, God forbid, we are kidnapped and or possibly murdered. We are coming to you from a stable yet ugly truck that Baxter has covered with 9-inch nails and Jesus bumper stickers just to piss me the fuck off. The local time is 9:18 p.m. and I swear, I saw a large dragon come down from the sky towards our vehicle and enter Baxter. I know for a fact that he shakes in his sleep, and right now, he's not moving. I don't care enough to check his vitals, but listeners, if he's dead, it's not my fault. This reminds me, what if your dreams were a descent into the afterlife? Except right before your death becomes a reality. Consciousness returns, saving you from what could have either been an eternity in a nightmare, or stealing you from what could have been the best collaboration between two superheroes fighting side by side, saving the universe from tiny little frog persons with amazing superpowers. 1996 version of Carmen Electra. Someday, we are going to rule fucking everything. We're gonna have lots of babies. And then we're gonna give those babies up for adoption because we don't feel like dealing with that shit. Alright, so apparently we either fell into another dimension or my theories of the flat hollow earth are true. Listeners, allow me to explain. Earlier, we passed Chicago and Baxter wanted to make a brief detour to check out Lake Michigan. I tried explaining to him that it would be a waste of time considering the fact that we're going to be touching the Atlantic Ocean in a few more days. But after a few choice words, I decided that some things weren't worth fighting over. So north we went until we found ourselves at a place called Benton Harbor. If you're looking at a map, follow the lake all the way to the south and then head east. You'll find it. Quaint little place it was. We got out of our truck and after walking around for a little bit, we came upon a few shops and antique stores, but nothing really grabbed my attention. I've never been much of a shopper, unless it involves interacting with women who like hanging out on the corners of the neighborhoods that I buy my drugs from. So we grabbed a bite to eat, and soon after we found ourselves on East Britain Ave heading west. Up ahead, I noticed a church. Amidst all the hustle and bustle of this place, the church seemed to stand on its own, isolated even. A sign out front read Ebenezer Baptist Church. Now, there's no real way to tell if a church or its congregants believe in the true way to Christ, and quite frankly, I don't think there is a church like that. But I do know the only way to find out is by interaction. This church was sending me strong feelings for sure. I needed more than a feeling though. I needed interaction. I looked at Baxter and motioned towards the church, and without saying anything, he nodded, letting me know that he had my back. We made our way inside this seemingly isolated building, and upon entering the auditorium, a sick smell of decay and death overwhelmed us. Looking around, we saw that the pews were filled with mannequins. Some dressed, some naked. I couldn't tell that they were naked at first, but when I looked at Baxter and I saw that his penis was erect, I knew something was happening. All of these mannequins had shocked and frightened faces painted on them by what seemed to be dried blood. I looked up towards the cross. I had to know if this church at least taught anything within the same ballpark as me. Sure enough, there was a cross. Except, this cross was in the shape of a pentagram. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Below the Pentagram Cross was a towering figure dressed in a gold and silver robe with ruby linings. On his head was a crown of tin foil. He seemed unaware of our presence. Instead, he was searching the audience. At least it looked like he was searching. As if addressing his people, his face would contort and grimace and smile, and then contort again. He's talking to mannequins via his mind, I thought. Who is this magician? And what has he done to my cross? Hello, sir? I called out in trepidation. Yeah, can I have a moment of your time? He stopped mind talking to his audience. Only for a moment, though. As he spoke to me, his attention went back to his audience.
You there, you! You have 5 seconds to explain to me why you pester me. I shall count 5, 4, 1, 2, 2, 5. No, the numbers in my head. Who are you? Speak. Why are you here?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I stammered. What is this place, and who are you? He snapped his attention back to us once more.
Who am I? Who am I? You do not know who I am. Maybe they are not. They can't understand who they are. You don't know who I am? This is my sanctuary, and I, the leader, David Icke.
His last name echoed for far too long. It almost seemed unrealistic. Like what an audio engineer would make a voice sound like if he decided to edit this part of the podcast while he was really high on black tar heroin. Suddenly, flames started to shoot out of his body, and from below us, the earth began to tremble.
Pastor J, we gotta go now,
Baxter screamed. We turned around to leave from where we came from, but the door slammed shut.
Oh, you will not leave me, for I shall make a mannequin of you for me. Behold, David Icke!
Again, his last name echoed for an unrealistic period of time. Off to the side, a door opened up. It looked like the door to the inside of another church, except everything through that door was upside down and dark. Baxter and I hesitated for a bit.
Psst, over here. Come with me if you want to live,
said an extremely old man wearing a Terminator 2-like jacket and sunglasses. He was laying on the floor in the prone position and, from the looks of it, seemed like he wanted to be there. Nice, I thought. A human snake.
Trust me, I can help,
said the old man. Fuck it. Baxter, come on. We ran through the door as the old man slithered behind us. I looked back and watched as the new world we entered turned itself upright, while the old world turned upside down. Most of you right now are probably thinking, oh, Pastor J just stole that idea from the show Stranger Things. Well, not exactly. See, in that show, there existed a place called the Upside Down, and bad shit happened. This new place, well, it was a church, and although we were technically upside down, there were no monsters or bad guys here. All in all, the experience was quite pleasant. The way it was explained to us by our new host was that we were on the other side and in the middle of our planet. How does that work? I asked when the old man offered us some explanation as to why this new world we inhabited was the way it was. Now, I know I've said before that we lived on a flat, hollow earth, but I didn't understand why. I just knew that it was a thing. It's called faith, bitches.
Well, imagine being upside down inside the pocket of your favorite calzone. Except thanks to a magical force that's not gravity, we feel like we're the ones who are always right side up. The same applies to the other side. No matter where you're at, you're always okay. Technically, no one's ever upside down.
The old man explained. You seem like a nice guy. Why aren't you on the other side? I asked. The world that we live in. He pondered for a moment, and then he continued.
Have you ever heard the term, not of this world?
Sure I have. Look at the shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Well, we decided to make that a reality. We didn't want to be a part of their world anymore, so we went into hiding.
Oh, okay, who's they?
Mostly Obama. He's the Antichrist, you know.
Well, yeah, but so is George Bush. I'm guessing our next president will be as well.
Yep.
His face gave off the impression that he was finished with this conversation because he was uncomfortable. So that's it?
Yep.
Say, what's your name? I asked.
My name is Pat Robertson, and these are my sheep.
With his arms outstretched, he turned around and, as if by some magical force, bright floodlights from above us exposed the congregation. They were all mole rats. Not mall rats, mole rats. Fuck, I thought. Fucking knew I recognized him. I looked over at Baxter, and he was frozen. I wiggled my fingers to get his attention, and in the brief second he looked over at me, I mouthed the words, "Be fucking cool." We both looked back at Pat, who was eyeing his flock and quietly smacking his lips. Say, Mr. Robertson, what would it take for us to leave here? He turned and looked directly into my eyeballs.
I'm gonna need 2 pounds of pickled mayonnaise, a deep cleaning under my jowls, 1 previously used sanitary wipe from any barbecue restaurant, an all-white nativity scene from a rare African rhino horn, and $700 in crumpled dollar bills soaked in the tears of sinners.
Perfect. See, we have all of that sitting in our truck right now, except the $700 that's soaked in Baxter's tears. We don't even have $700. Also, get us out of here in a timely manner and I'll double the pickled mayonnaise. He smiled a black-toothed grin.
Deal.
He led us through a few corridors that smelled like bacon and whiskey. Nothing seemed real in this place. As I ran my fingers across the bricks that lined the walls, tiny hands the size of nickels reached out to touch me. The last half of this hallway led out into a dark road that seemed to be suspended in space. Time seemed to stop as well. What is this place? I asked Pat, who continued to slither alongside us with ease.
Have you ever read the epic sci-fi fantasy Wheel of Time, Pastor Jay?
No, sir. I've only read one book, I'm proud to say, and that book's called the Bible.
Oh.
He looked troubled.
Well, one thing about this part of the world we live in is that every fictional book ever written comes true down here. This place we're in now, it's called The Ways. Robert Jordan wrote it. It's a good book. You should check it out.
Off to my left, I overheard Baxter mumble.
I bet you we could get Jesus to help us out of this mess.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. Let's keep going. I don't like it here.
No, what the fuck did you just say?
I said I bet if we had cheese nut tomatoes inside a nest.
Oh, really? That's how you decided to construct your sentence?
Well, if you would have just let me finish.
Then finish the goddamn sentence, Baxter.
I bet you if we had cheese nuts tomatoes inside a nest, our trip through these parts would be most pleasant. I'm hungry, bitch.
Good. I'm fucking glad you're hungry. If I ever...
Hey, guys, we finally made it.
Pat Robertson interrupted. We both watched as he slithered up to the door and opened it with ease. The sunlight hurt my eyes for a quick minute, but god damn it felt good to feel daylight again. Mr. Robertson, where the heck are we? I asked.
We're back in your world, Pastor Jay. We're also quite farther away than you'd like. Don't worry, though. I had one of my scouts bring your truck to you. Also, we took all the mayonnaise that we both agreed I could have. Pickled mayonnaise is a sacred down in our version of heaven, so you understand. Well, toodles.
With that, Mr. Robertson was gone. I pulled out my phone and turned on my GPS just to get some bearing on where we were. Wouldn't you know it, we were in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. I once went to a home for troubled teens in this area. It was called Freedom Village, and it was far from being a free place. Anyway, that was a lifetime ago. Another strange thought occurred to me. What would have taken us at least another day to travel to this point only seemed to take a few hours down in the darkness. It seemed like distance was also warped down there. Such a strange place. We got back into our truck and continued our journey. Almost there, Baxter. Almost there. In case this happens to be our last transmission, we're passing through Springfield, Massachusetts. In about an hour, depending on traffic, which shouldn't be much this early in the morning, Baxter will finally see Boston for the first time ever. If you don't hear from us, blame Whitey Bulger's henchman. As always, in a world of magic and make-pretend, anything is possible. Good night, folks. Sleep easy.
Toodles, are you fucking serious? Okay, that's take one.